Good morning. This is Willie Alexander, the owner of Alexander's Great Seasoning. I have 21 products, some of which have won first place in the world. This barbecue sauce here that I'm showing you is one that had won first place in the world 2 times. Then I have some other products such as the lemon pepper won first place in the world, second place in the world once. And then my 2 Thumbs Up has won, my Uncle Willie's brisket rub has won, and there are some other products that won first, second, or third places in the world. So my daughter has 2 exchange students, and she wanted to show them some of the products and food that is prepared here in the United States in the way that we do it. So she asked me to prepare some smoked chicken and some ribs for these exchange students. So I decided to do that for her. So for the chicken and the ribs, I'm going to use 2 products. I'm going to use my lemon pepper and my 2 Thumbs Up. This combination here is wonderful, just wonderful. In fact, when my wife was doing catering, this was her #1 requested meat, by far, #1. Now you'll see that I'm using larger containers here. That's just for seasoning so that I won't have to be back and forth to smaller containers. So what I'm going to do is season with lemon pepper. I'm going to put a reasonable amount here on the bottom side. I call it the bottom side because I like to start with the side that's not real smooth. And the reason that I like to do that is because when it's served, it's prettier. Now I don't eat by taste. Well, I don't eat by sight, I'm sorry. My wife don't eat by taste, she eats by sight, but I eat by taste. So once I put the lemon pepper on, then I'll come back with the 2 Thumbs Up rub. This 2 Thumbs Up rub, and you can go on my website and see the ingredients in both of these, but I can tell you right off, neither one of them has GMO, and they are first-rate products. I've sold some throughout, I don't know, all over Texas, and I've sent some to a few different places. Now you can see what that looks like once I put the seasoning on it. Now this is Alexander's Great Seasoning exclusively. Then I will turn it over. If I was doing this for a catering event where I had to do more, I would put them on a rack and then flip the entire pan over just to save some time. And that would also save time when I put them on the grill. I could just put the entire rack on the grill. But since I'm doing just a few, I do them this way. Okay? And I do the same thing on the bottom side, well, on the top side. I just finished the bottom side. Now when you serve these, if you're going to serve these, they look much better when they're served, I call it top side up. Now you could call it something else, or other people might call it something else, but that's what I call it, okay? I do exactly the same thing. I put a reasonable portion of lemon pepper on first. Now the reason that I put the lemon pepper on first is because I want it to have a little bit of a brownish color. And the 2 Thumbs Up does exactly that. This is the 2 Thumbs Up here. It's just in this larger container so that when I'm doing this type of work, I don't have to deal with a real small container. And there are times when I might have to cook, well, I mean, there was one time I had to cook 240 pounds of this same chicken in one day. And that served like 600 people, I believe, 700 people. High school students, so you know it was a lot of chicken. And it takes about, it depends on the grill. Now I use a smoker. in my smoker, it'll take about an hour to do this. Maybe sometimes, depending on the speed, the temperature of the smoker. But I like to smoke it at around 275 to 300. Now that's what I like to do. You might want to do it at 250 or 350. But I'm telling you what I like to do, and it works for me. So this is ready to go on the grill. Now another thing I want to show you is what I do for ribs, getting the ribs ready to go on to the grill. Now you'll notice that these are baby back ribs here. Ribs will have a membrane on the bottom side, and some people, there's a lot of controversy on whether or not to remove the membrane. Sometimes I will, sometimes I don't. I don't see it makes a difference. They taste good to me. But some people say that if you remove the membrane, the seasoning goes through the ribs better, and that might be true. But when you're preparing 100 ribs, just make sure that you have the time to do that. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But in order to remove the membrane, it's not real hard. It's easier on the baby back rib than it is on St. Louis ribs or spare ribs. Now this is the way you do it. You get your hand, make sure that you get your hand, I started these, but you get your hand up under it, and then once you get your hand up under it, you can just kind of work it. It'll come off pretty easy. Sometimes they'll get a little bit cantankerous, or they might even break. But if they do, it's not a problem. And sometimes they're real hard to handle. So when that's is the case, what you need to do is just take your paper towel. It grips it real well. Look at that. That's with the paper towel. It slipped out of my hand. And this is trash. So you do the same thing to this one here. Removing the membrane. But sometimes they're much more difficult to remove than this. But baby backs seem to be easy to remove. So now that's trash. So I'm going to use the same two products, even though I could use others. I have Cajun seasoning, I have brisket rub, I have fajita seasoning, I just have a lot of different products. But what I'm going to do is use exactly the same products, a little different proportion. I'm going to use the ribs, the lemon pepper first, and I'm going to sprinkle it here. Not real heavy. And again, I'm doing this the same way because I want the color to be kind of brownish. Kind of got ahead of myself there. And when I put these on the grill, the smoker really, I smoke them for 2 or 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours, because I want the smoke to get through them. And then I will do them one of two ways. I will then wrap them and place them back on the grill for another couple of hours at a little like 250 degrees, something like that, for a couple of hours. I might put a little lemon juice, apple juice, or a little water or something in them just to kind of help tenderize them. But I'm going to wrap them in tin foil. Leave them on the grill for a couple of hours, something like that. And if you want to, which I don't really care to do, you can then put the barbecue sauce on them and leave them for another hour. And when you finish with that, they're ready to serve. Now you'll notice these have a reddish appearance. They're ready to go on the grill now. And I can assure you that they will be wonderful. Now, the reason that I don't like to put barbecue sauce on them before they are prepared. I like people to taste the ribs themselves. I want them to taste them without barbecue sauce, because some people use barbecue sauce to cover up the taste. Well, I want them to taste the ribs and the barbecue sauce. I want them to taste it separate and together, because they are award winners even by themselves. Incredible. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and go ahead and put them on the grill, and then I will come back to you when I take them off and prepare them for serving and let you see what it looks like, okay?